We often speak of miracle drugs, of miracle babies, and some household products purported to be miraculous. But how about a couple that set out on a mission to thrive on grass and ended up as manufacturers of not only pastures and legumes, but fabricators of simple machinery that saves a farmer time while earning them money? Welcome to Itungo Pastures, a 2.5-acre urban pasture and dairy farm situated just 4 miles from the Ugandan capital, Kampala, in Wakiso district.
It's just a unique place, considering for many urban farmers, people who have decided to do their farming within either urban or peri-urban areas. Today probably will be a very good experience for you. It's a very rainy day. We struggled to get here. We would have gotten here much earlier than this, but definitely, it's God's plan. There's not much you can do. The rains came and we are finally here. So we're going to be experimenting just to look at what you can do within a city environment, how you might be able to deal with your pastures, because feeds almost constitute 60% of any farm's costs of production.
You're welcome.
Sorry about the long wait. It's been very, very rainy and
Fine.
it's all right. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good.
Are you all right?
I'm very nice.
Finally, at Itungo Pastures.
We started 2016, we made 0 loss. 2018, 0 loss. 2019, 0. Our break even was in COVID.
Really? When everybody is struggling.
Exactly.
And
everyone was running to farm.
Yes.
And that's when we started. Actually, that's when we make our point, our first coin, our first million. We made it in 2020 when the COVID was actually at its midst.
The farm is now a story of growing success resulting from consistency, persistence, perseverance, and innovation. Testimony is in the variety of pastures and legumes that grew from the famous glorious Guyana to now Japanese millet.
It's a good plant, it's a good pasture. When you're in the valley, in a lowland area, it's good for both silage and hay.
It's for cows.
For cows, for goats.
Or even goats.
Yes. Even goats.
Yes. It has a good germinating look. You look at it right now. It's actually also a source of protein content to the animals. It can either be used for making hay, and you can also use it for silage. Remember, silage is not as dry as here and the other thing. Silage is a mixture of different. So it can also be used as a foliage when making what? When making silage. It has good protein content, as you can see, 14 to 20% of the protein. And remember, the main thing in the milk, and actually the food value we get from milk, is protein. So that means including proteins in the diet of the animal is very, very important. So that's why we advise our farmers, come to Itungo farm, get the seedlings of Bracharia mulatto too, so you may have the protein content in the food of the animals for nice milk and more production of milk from the farm.
This is our new plant called the Japanese millet from South Africa. It is good for the swampy area. This works good for you. It does both hay and silage. This is silage bag.
The pastures generally take up to 3 months to the first harvest. Once harvested, they are either chopped, mixed and served fresh, or served as hay, a mixture of dried pastures and legumes.
This is our famous. Oh my God! This is the magic. This is the magic of the feeds. Yes, this is the magic of the feeds.
Protein.
It's full protein. I will give it to any animal: goats, rabbits, cows, chicken, and then
Siani. So if we have talked about human food, this would be chicken. If we talk about chicken, you mix. This is that. This is that. Total organic. Feeding your cows organic. Guys, come and we feed our cows, okay?
Well, it's feeding time, as you have seen. Mr. Pison just is very dramatic in the way that he does his stuff. You've seen the mixing, the way he's involved. You can see the kind of passion that is in the kind of work that he does. And now, the actual business now, the mixing has been done. We are actually going to the next step, which is feeding the animals.
Yeah.
Let's show you.
They will come. Just to make sure we see that feed trap.
They will come. Welcome. You see the smell. You're welcome. You're welcome. The feeds are here.
The feeds are a full nourishment, testified by the cow's vigor in licking and chewing into them. This silent happiness manifests in the milk they produce in turn. Pison has 4 milking cows at the moment at the Wakiso farm, giving around 60 liters a day after they remove milk for feeding the calves. Being close to the city, he can sell a liter of milk for 1,800 Uganda shillings, that's about 50 cents or half a dollar, while farmers in the countryside could sell for as little as 700 shillings or 18 cents. That's about 3.3 million shillings a month, 39 million shillings a year. That's about $10,000.
Now, for many people out there looking at this video, watching this video at this moment in time, when you look at this is cow poo dung. You might look at it as something that is nasty that you wouldn't even want to relate with. For many farmers, for millions of farmers out there, this is gold. Many of you have been asking me about the production of biogas, how we produce biogas, why should we even, bother with biogas? Very shortly, I'm sure you'll be seeing why and what difference it makes, especially in the protection of our environment. The stopping the use of firewood. You see so many rich people, they have so many cows, but their girls, their ladies, their wives are still going to the bushes and getting pricked by thorns, trying to pick up some firewood to cook. This could be the game changer.
Itungo Farm is a depiction of how to maximize efficiency. Here, nothing goes to waste. Other than milk, the happy cows produce cow dung, a waste product which here is used in producing biogas. If you have 2 cows on zero grazing at your place, you can have a basic biogas system capable of generating 6 hours of cooking and lighting at a cost of 2.3 million shillings. That's about $639 as of September 2023's exchange rate.
Here, this is our biogas plant.
Jolie Asimwe is Pison Businja's wife, and other than running the farm's accounts, she also digs deep into the dirt.
Every day we are supposed to refill. I'm sure majority of you out there, you've got gas cylinders. So for us here, you also feel like the way you take your gas cylinders to refill. We do the same here, but us, we do by mixing our cow dung here. We make a very smooth paste and we put in our biogas plant. Well done, Samantha.
Now for the slave queens out there, watching your nails and not wanting to move around, this is a girl, beautiful girl out here, doing the hard work, filling up the biogas, and then the next thing is you're cooking nicely without having to blow into the kitchen firewood. That's the difference. You do the hard work, you enjoy the best results. That's it. Okay, enough. Fantastic.
Yeah. So we are done with filling our biogas with a very smooth cow dung paste, as you have seen. Now here we go. After an aerobic digestion process, it is whereby now the microorganisms breaks down our organic materials. When the mechanism escapes and it goes up, we channel it into our hose pipe here, then we connect it to our kitchen, and it is what we use to cook, as you're going to see.
With our milk fetched and our gas channeled, it's time to taste what the bioflames can offer.
They just said we'll have to come to the kitchen, but just see how clean. Just see how clean that fire is. That's clean gas. That's biogas. A lot of times, if we know what we are dealing with, then we should know. So, Pison, you know my love for food, and so you and Madame just made a deal that you're going to make sure that you cook something that we are going to eat. And with the eggs in the kitchen now, I think. Just do the honors now. Get ready. We are going to eat it. So Mr. Pison knows there's no way of coming to a farm and you fail to eat. And Samantha is here serving me and Mr. Pison. So we are about to have a farmer's breakfast, as you can see, at Itungo Pastures. Oh my goodness! Well, they know my love for food, and Pison and wife Johnny, they are just about to spoil me. I can't do anything. I have to get spoiled.
Breakfast. I think this is breakfast.
We really have to make sure that
I'm served well. Dr. Kassim, they would have an issue.
Breakfast done, we go back where we stopped, at the biogas station. Once the gas has been extracted, what remains as a byproduct is bioslurry, another cash cow. The slurry is a fantastic fertilizer used here to manure the pasture fields, but also importantly at Itungo Pastures, it's increasingly being used as a feed for catfish.
In this tank, it holds about 1,000. It holds 1,000 catfish.
1,000 catfish.
Exactly, 1,000.
An adult catfish after 6 months, how much would it?
Averagely, you can say 10,000.
10,000.
10,000 shillings. So with 10,000 shillings, so if it is 1,000, my mathematics is not all that good, but calculate 10,000 multiplied by, is it 10 million?
10,000 by 10,000,
Exactly.
you're already talking a lot of money.
Exactly. Yes. So there should not be no excuse why farmers should not rear fish. It's a delicacy, it's good.
The Businjes have an eye for money and will tap into anything that relates to pasture production or value addition. Just recently, they started making silage making machines, simple grass chopping machines, as well as baling machines. The optimal utilization of this limited space can make one envious, optically speaking, that is. This venture is training, then employing young people from within the local area, hence impacting communities. The machines are affordable to a smallholder farmer.
Showing people to co-practice as we're trying to refill. Yeah. This is our Florist Diana headband. 14 kilograms. This is our manual pay.
Right, you've just seen any farmer who thought that probably you wouldn't be able to get the bells. Just look at the bells coming off the tractors, the big tractors. That's for the rich people. A poor person or a middle-income person can still make a bell, just like you've seen, using these machines here. Very simple technology. At the end of the it, you have got 14 kilograms. Not easy to lift, but you can see. It just shows now this is ready.
The farm also operates a pasture-friendly shop selling pasture and legume seeds. Initial outlay for the seeds seems a bit high, but once established, many of the pastures will last for several years, hence recuperating the cost of initial investment.
Then we also have our Super Napier one, Pasture.
Now, dear viewers, this is the one I've just been waiting for so much. I've been traveling across Uganda, and the manner in which people pronounce this will kill you. I went to some place, it's Pakchong Napier one, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I got somewhere, someone was calling it Chapkong, another person was calling it Chupkang, Pakching, and everybody was just trying to make sure that this is the one that has given me the biggest laughter. It is a new sort of feed that has come to Uganda, or the Ugandan market, not so long. I think it's been about 5-6 years now.
About 4 years.
4 years now, yes. But
Yeah.
from the time that it's arrived, it's really been a game changer. What's the secret about this one?
So the secret about Pasture 1 Super Napier, actually it grows very fast. But above it all, it's high protein content. Its protein content is higher. That is between 14 to 18%. Yeah, you can see that is very good, especially for the people who are interested in milk production. Yeah, it is very good for making hay, for making silage. It is very sweet, hence palatable to the animals. Yeah, so that is why it has really made wonders.
One of the biggest lost costs for many farmers is the poor post-harvest management, which go into billions of dollars on the African continent. Producing pastures is one thing, but making them last longer to feed your animals is another. Itungo Pastures is selling silage bags to smallholder farmers, as well as silage sheets for the bigger farmers with large ground silos. These sheets now mean you don't need to dig ground silos to store your feeds, but you can just use normal room spaces to lay the sheet, place the feeds, then cover air tightly. The smallholder farmer will be able to store between half a ton to a ton of silage in these airtight, weatherproof silage bags. Pison and Jolly have embarked on an aggressive marketing campaign for their growing list of products, soliciting the services of a digital media specialist to widen the scope of their reach.
Well, we're trying to integrate farming with digital marketing. Much as we're doing this for Itungo Pastures, we're also training other farmers to also do the same. We use Meta Business, that is Facebook. That's Instagram and WhatsApp integrated. Then we also use YouTube for video and TikTok for video. And we will also use Twitter handles. All this is marketing, getting to get to our clients without the middleman.
Middleman. You're getting rid of the middleman.
Getting rid of the middleman.
Yes.
Let our clients call us directly and meet us, come to our farm, do the training, and we also offer this digital marketing training to our clients.
How effective has this been so far?
It has been very effective because every day we receive calls, new numbers. People saying, "Hey, I saw you online. I saw you online. Oh, do you have this? Can I come for training?" We book appointments for Wednesday, maybe Thursday, depending on how busy or like how free they are, or on how busy our schedule is.
As I marveled at the developments at Itungo Pastures farm, it was hard to miss out on two young ladies that were hands-on, young, pretty, and an epitome of slay queenhood. Yet here they were, getting dirty and seeming to enjoy what they were laying their hands on. I learned that Samantha Musimenta and Umurengezi Confiance, both aged 20, are university students who are already carving out a secure path once they bag their degrees. What really motivated them?
Like, I've been to school, I've seen the cleaners around, I've seen the people working in the kitchen, and I think none of them is actually ugly. They all look good, they are beautiful actually, just the situation messing them around. So if they can do that, and I know they had big dreams like me, why won't I do the small thing around right now?
Our thing is just so unique, and everyone you tell this thing about pasturing, growing pastures, everyone finds it unique. It is really unique. So I thought this thing could add a lot on me, so I decided to join because I see it's not just stopping here. We are going very fast.
It's got a future.
Yes.
And you've started feeling it inside you. Do you like wake up and you feel like you really want to touch, the grass, the pastures, feed the cows?
Yes.
Is there some kind of satisfaction that comes, that arises out of that?
Exactly, it comes. You feel satisfied. This is nature. Like, This is agriculture.
It's not some
ours.
complicated
Yes.
work that you have to go to office and
It's
sit
not,
and write
it's
down
not,
and
it's
copy.
not
and-
rocket science.
Well, there's some science. I've seen the mixing. I've had 13 kilograms here, 12 kilograms here. You just don't mess it up and just place it in there.
Anyone can do that.
Yeah.
Right. What message would you like also to have to the young girls out there? I think that's just sort of in a sentence.
Okay.
So my message to the girls out there, we should stop this mentality we used to have. I also had it thinking farming is dirty work, it is hard work, it's what we had. But farming has been made easy, as you've seen. You can still farm with your nails. You have the nails and we farm, we can get into the dirty work, then after clean up and make our nails. So please, let's wake up, let's rise up and work for this is our generation. So if we just relax and focus on nails, what are we going to tell our grandchildren?
Yes, Samantha?
So I think what I can tell girls out there, there's no free lunch. Like actually my mentor, Mr. Pison, has already told me there's no free lunch. Completely nothing is ever being given to you that is free. Wake up, work hard, and I'm sure the money that you've made yourself is really so fun. You don't have to explain to anyone. You know, I bought this, I bought that. No, make it yourself, have it, enjoy, and have the freedom. So there's no free lunch.
My time at Itungo Pastures is fast coming to an end. My experiences in farming so far is that the strength of progress on a farm is heavily dependent on the relationship of its owners in their attitude towards the venture. Jolie, Pison's wife, has been in the thick and thin of things from the very word go.
According to the research we have been doing, I have realized that actually farming, it's not a dirty job as many people out there think. You can actually make it clean. I'm very sure you've been in our office, we are having computers there and everything. And even us ourselves, do we look dirty?
Oh, well, you do tell me.
So to most of the ladies, actually not even ladies, I am very sure even there are some men who still think that farming is a dirty job. It's not dirty. Farming is a very nice business, even better than what most of you may think. Yeah, it's a very good investment, and of course besides that, in farming there is money if you do it and you always be present. You don't just do it as a side.
You know,
or
Jolie,
something that's
I've been a
passion.
farmer now for nearly 7 years, going into 8 years. But one of the best moments I've had is that moment when my wife said, I'm ready for it.
Wow.
Coming to join me, the way I look at how to do stuff is totally changed because of my wife's input. Not that she wasn't supportive, but she was supportive standing outside. Now coming in and saying, I'm ready to get dirty, I'm ready to get doing it, I think made a lot of difference in terms of how we are doing.
Yes.
First of all, the amount of money we can push towards it changed, because then you can't be complaining, because I was pouring a lot of money into farming and my wife is like, all the money is going into the farm, you know, where is us? But then the moment they become part of it, it becomes part of the story. How much of a difference do you think you are partnering your husband with your husband has changed the way the farm, the shape that the farm has taken?
Oh my God, it has really changed a very, very big, partly, okay, on a bigger percentage, we have really changed a lot, because we have really made it a business. Most of the times we are here every day. When we wake up, we make sure we wake up and be here at the farm. When he's not there, I'm here. At least I know how much money we make, how we spend, because we sit down and budget, and really we count each and every money, and at least now we know how everything goes. Yeah? You know, sometimes you can be there, you can listen to some of ladies' conversations and they're like, I don't know where my man puts the money, or something like that. But at least for me, I know. Actually, here I'm the accountant.
I was just about to go there. Most of the people I've seen being happy.
Yeah.
I've seen Pison's happhappiness, and his happiness is almost built around the fact that you handle the money.
Surely I handle it, and I'm happy about it. Actually, farming, we are not doing it actually like a job. I think it's more fun to us when we are here. You feel free. You're your own boss. You know, you do something, and if you have functions, we sit down and we are like, for you now, you're going to go and attend me. Let me stay behind. You know. it is really fun. You just do everything on your face, on your pace, with the love. You know, it is really fun. I just enjoy.
Well, there's one I can't
doing,
finish without asking,
you know?
Jolie, which is being this kind of work is very intensive.
Yes,
it's
please.
intensive. I mean, regardless of how you look at it,
Yes.
it's very much consuming. When do you find the time for your love? Like when you are feeding the cows and you're saying "Mwana we," and you touch each other and you laugh about it. When do you find the space for love? Because it can be so busy, it can be so serious.
For lovers with my family.
With your husband, that's what I mean.
Husband.
Yeah. So how?
Wow. Yeah, it's about prioritization. You know, you prioritize. There is always time for work, and then there is always time for resting. So we sit and decide. Of course, we have to work, but then we give ourselves time, like 1 month for vacation.
Oh, right.
Yeah, we go and have all the fun and love ourselves.
That's when you see the money.
I'm almost tempted to say the bright is future here, instead of course of the future is bright. I guess, drawn in by the ingenious nature of how these two, with a team of dedicated disciples, have transformed this little space into a haven of hope for hundreds of urban and peri-urban farmers without space, yet with an insatiable appetite for pastures for their flocks. It's incredible how they are building an all-rounded business with multiple linkages and resourcefulness. There's always room for improvement, and I see no possible resistance to that either.
We started on a bad note. Cows were dying. We didn't know what to do. It is after when I attended one seminar, and it changed me. And here we are growing. We are opening another branch in southwestern Uganda, in Chulhura district. Of course, what we have here is what we shall also be there in Chulhura. So we are really developing, and I'm happy when I see the staff, when I see attracting my renowned journalist Kassim Kayira. I feel that God is really.
You start looking to the future then, Pison,
Yes.
because I'd said one question and then suddenly, it just gets sweet. Where do you see Itungo Farm now in the next sort of 3, 5, 10 years from now?
We should be having, we're going to be having something like a farm lodge where people could come, take milk, taste our fish, see our animals, and just feel at home. Because whenever you go abroad, I find this picture of farmers normally come and relax. Why not me? So in 3-4 years from now, inshallah, we shall be having here a farm lodge, Itungo Farm Lodge, to house you, Kassim Kayira, with our food.
Right, and,
Yes.
and the production, of course, sort of increasing. Then finally, looking at the small piece of land here, the ability of how you've managed to milk from 2.5 acres is just unbelievable. Try and take it through to a farmer, an intending farmer, someone lying on land there, acres and acres, probably 5 acres, and they think they have nothing. Please give them a message on my behalf. Probably you can just even look through the camera.
Wow.
Speak to this farmer, speak to this landowner who is sitting on land and is doing nothing with it, what they could possibly be missing out on.
My dear friend, if you're outside there, here averagely we have a comparative advantage. So you can also see around what is the comparative advantage. A comparative advantage, I mean, look for something where you are that can do well. For example, if I give you a gabsa, if you're in southwestern Uganda, people are looking for feed. I would tell you to go invest in hay business if you're in southwestern Uganda. If you're in central here, I would tell you to go and invest in silage. If you're in northern corridor, like Nakasongola, then fattening can be good. For that person who is an urban farmer, you have 1 acre, 2 acres, 3 acres. Look for something that you can, it's comparative advantage. Like here I'm in town, my comparative advantage, the price of milk is high. So you get 100 liters, you sell a liter at 2,000. Okay? So if you're in Chulhura, you don't have a comparative advantage
In terms of
milk.
price, yes.
So for you, I would advise you to invest in hay. You feed for a small farmer with 4 acres, 3 acres, don't go to animals if you're in Chulhura. Concentrate on making hay. You supply those people who are having big chunks of land, but they have not done feeding well. For me, who is in Kampala here, who is in Wakiso here, I wouldn't go to fattening. I'm not going to make a kill because I have small land. That's how I'm investing in silage making. Supply those people, urban farmers who don't have land. So even if it is 1 acre, you can specialize in making silage, in making hay. To me, I'm not only concentrating on animals. That's why when you have seen, I'm making many things. I'm making a kill in silage bags. I'm making a kill in dairy, selling milk. I'm making a kill in selling post-handling, the silage bags and the like. So you can do mixed farming. You do thing here, you do thing here, you do thing here, so that collectively you can get some good money on a small acreage of land, which is easily manageable.
Thank you very much. Much appreciated.
Kwaheri.
Asante sana. Thank you very much. Confiance? Thank you very much. You are trying to hide your work. Yes, you've been very busy there in the kitchen. Thank you very much. Well done. Much appreciated. Thank you very much.
We are humbled. Thank you.
All right. Well, I've just come on a very beautiful day of reflection. I came here thinking I'd come to just look at pastures and off the back of pastures, and that was it. To get here and find a man who has managed to turn 2.5 acres into a serious business empire, producing all round, sort of going into the pastures, going into the production, going into machinery that does the feeds. It is just unbelievable. It is one thing that actually gives you a reflection that if you give it your all, you can actually deliver.